Parshas Va'eschanan is a jam-packed parsha. A lot going on in this parsha. You know, people ask the question, how do you know you're obligated to learn Torah? Right? I'm going to say that anyway. So what's the obvious answer?
Wait, how do you know you're obligated to learn Torah just stam?
Yeah, how do you know there's an obligation to set aside time to learn Torah every day?
Well, we learned about Va'eschanan Yom V'Layla and also V'Maratem Osam.
Oh, very good. That's what I was looking for. So the average person will say, Yeshua, beginning of Sefer Yeshua. Question is, more of an important pasuk? Is it in Chumash itself? It's in Nach? The answer is no. It's in this week's parsha. All of that. That's how we know you have an obligation. How much does a person need to learn? There was one time that when the Chazon Ish was younger, there's a story that someone met him. We saw this related in multiple places. The story, and Adam Chashav saw the Chazon Ish, was asking what he did, and the Chazon Ish, out of humility, said, "I'm a balabas, a store owner." He didn't say balabas; I'm a store owner, because his wife partially owned the store or something. So then the rabbi asked the Chazon Ish, and do you set time to learn every day? He said, "When I have time, I learn." That's what the Chazon Ish said. When I have time, I learn. Later, of course, he became a Gadol b'Yisrael. But think about that statement. When I have time, I learn. Now, that obviously is case dependent, but it holds a tremendous amount of significance and depth to that statement. When I have time, I learn. In other words, when a person is involved with necessary activities, he's exempt from learning. Like the Radak over there says, when a person's working, he's exempt from learning. When a person is taking care of his physical necessities, such as eating, sleeping, going to the bathroom, etc., he's exempt from learning. But Pam Zatzal says, what does this mean exactly? That doesn't mean that a person could now work 20 hours a day and say, oh, I'm working, mitzvah, I'm exempt from learning. No. A person is working extra hard, just to be able to afford luxuries and the like. And that, in fact, is going to be a problem. Person has to be fair about it. Shimshon Pincus Etzal, in the Tiferet Shimshon over here, says that the mitzvah of learning Torah consists of Shnei Chalakim, two different sections, two aspects to learning Torah. Number one is the Etzem mitzvah. The mitzvah of Torah is similar to all other mitzvahs. There's a mitzvah for us to put on tefillin. There's a mitzvah for us to take dalin minim on sukkahs. So too, there's a mitzvah to learn Torah HaKadosh. Just like by every single mitzvah, there are intricate details, there are pratim involved. So too, when it comes to learning Torah, there are pratim. There are intricate details involved in a way to fulfill the mitzvah. As we just said, the basic halacha is that a person is obligated to learn constantly. What does that mean? Already defined what that meant briefly. Briefly, but in an important way with a tremendous amount of insight. And we said, as he reiterates over here, what we already said, person's working, he's exempt from learning. In other words, he wasn't mevatel the mitzvah of Talmud Torah. There was no bittul Torah when he was working, because he's not free. He's not able to learn Torah. But if you have a person who their job is to learn Torah all day, right? That's my job, right? Learning with other people, that's my job. Guys in yeshiva, guys in kail, whatever it is. And now what happens? He's supposed to be learning. He's in his seder. By the way, I think a person, there's what to talk about. Even Bein Hastarim, person could be held accountable for Bittul Torah if he's just wasting his time. Well, that's a different discussion, especially Bein Hazmanim. Now Bein Hazmanim is coming up, all the Bittul Torah that goes on. But that's another discussion. But let's say he's officially during his Seder where he's supposed to be in yeshiva according to everyone he's supposed to be learning. And then what happens? He spaces out. He starts schmoozing with his chavrusa. At that moment, he was mevatel v'mitzvah v'shinamtem l'vanecha v'dibartava. That is the definition of bittul Torah. A person who in the middle of Seder with his chavrusa starts schmoozing about something else, it's like it's on Rosh Hashanah and he just missed listening to shofar, says Rabbi Pincus. Think about that. If every yeshiva, every rabbi would get up and tell this to the people learning, I bet you there would be a lot less schmoozing going on. A lot less bittul Torah going on.
Wow.
People have to realize the chashivas of learning Torah HaKadoshim. I guarantee you if there were tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line, they wouldn't be schmoozing. So why then is Torah any worse than business dealings? People aren't schmoozing when it comes to business dealings. We're talking about bittul Torah. We're talking about a person has the opportunity to listen to shofar and he doesn't hear shofar. You have to pay attention to this idea. A lot of people think that learning thing, constant learning, that concept, that idea, that's for the masmidim. That's not for us. It's not true. This is a mitzvah d'oraisa in the Torah in this week's parsha, similar to every other mitzvah like Dalin, Minim, and Shofar. This is not a hit. This is me'ikar hadin. This is halacha l'maisa from the letter of the law. This isn't a chumrah. This isn't mussar. This isn't a stringency. Just like a person wouldn't say, oh, the mitzvah of sukkah, the mitzvah of daled minim, the mitzvah of matzah, that mitzvah is not for me. A person can't say, oh, that learning thing, that's for the learners. No! Everyone is obligated to learn Torah HaKadoshim. Yes, it's difficult sometimes to learn. But that's why we have in Birchas HaTorah the unique insertion, the Hanevno, make it sweet. Because when the Torah is sweet, and if we realize the sweetness, it will be very easy for us to learn Torah HaKadoshim. These are powerful words we're talking about again. Incredibly powerful. Something for us to think about. Importance of learning Torah. You know, we have a little bit of time till Tisha B'Av when we can learn any area of Torah that we want. Got to utilize that. But
I heard that after it's so.
Definitely something to contemplate, something to think about. You know, I once heard someone say, a wife, a mother, she sends her husband or her child off to the yeshiva to learn, to shul, wherever it is. She gets reward no matter what. But if the husband goes to the shul or the yeshiva and he's supposed to be learning and he ends up schmoozing, she's getting all the reward, he's getting nothing. He's getting the bittul Torah, she's not. Because she sent him off with the intention to learn. Anyways, there's definitely something to think about. There's a powerful idea that if a person has the opportunity to learn and he's supposed to be learning at that moment and doesn't, he gets held accountable for the bittul Torah. And it's as if he missed shofar in the daled minim, but the guy who's at work is totally exempt. But when the guy who comes back from work or before work, he comes and he learns early in the morning and he's mevat Torah, he has the same problem for him. Deep idea. Okay, Mirza Hashem, we will continue, I guess, Erev Shabbos, right? Because tomorrow's Tisha B'Av. So we'll resume Erev Shabbos.
Erev Shabbos.
Erev Shabbos, virtual again, okay?
Shall do.
All right, everyone should have a wonderful day and meaningful kindness, and May we be zoiche for the rebuilding of the Beis HaMikdash speedily in our days.
Amen. All right, shkayach.
All right. Good for meaningful fast.
Yeah, you
So-
too.